I want to start with you, Yogendra Yadav ji, first, because many believe that there is an imprint of the likes of Yogendra Yadav on this Congress manifesto. When you call for a caste census, when you call for Jitni Abadi Utna Haq, when you effectively seem to suggest that we need to have an analysis of who has how much wealth, and then based on that survey call for redistribution of income, there is a left-leaning Yogendra Yadav type of person's hand in it. How will you respond? I'm only going by what the BJP president and indeed the Prime Minister say, leftist ka haath hai Congress ke saath.
I can only laugh at it, Rajdeep. I can only pity those who don't remember their history. Allow me to remind you that the demand for caste census was made by the Parliament of India unanimously as back as 2010. The demand for caste census has been reiterated, was conceded by Mr. Rajnath Singh when he was the Home Minister in 2018, has been reiterated by the National Commission on Backward Caste appointed by the BJP, several state legislatures, including in the states ruled by BJP. So unless you want to give Yogendra Yadav the credit for something that happened in 2010 in the Parliament of India, I mean, I'm happy to take all the credit.
No, that's because Yogendra Yadav ji, the Congress, just a minute, the Congress in 2010 chose to reject the caste. It did not publish the details of the caste census, did not put it out in the public domain. There was a debate within the party and the party didn't go ahead and put those details out. Now, 14 years later, they say that they are embracing the caste census and Jitni Abadi Utna Haq. As per population, reservations will be given even crossing 50%.
Two or three things, Rajdeep, if you are seriously discussing. I mean, forget the silly questions about the authorship and so on. As I said, all that the Congress seems to be doing is taking its own ideology seriously, something that Congress has been talking about for years and years. They seem to be foregrounding it in a sense. And let me remind you that the foregrounding began not in the manifesto, not in the Bharat Jodo Yatra. It began with the Raipur resolution of the Congress party. In a sense, what the Congress is saying is something which is ingrained in the Constitution of India. It is the philosophy of Indian Constitution. It is the ideology of Baba Saheb Ambedkar. And if Congress today leans a little more to Baba Saheb Ambedkar, I can only salute the Congress party and I can only salute and say, well done. You know, this is the ideology.
So have they woken up to it now? Have they woken up to it now? For the longest time, the Congress appeared ambivalent on the issue of caste reservation, particularly in the 1990s when the Mandal reform in a way appeared to suddenly change the nature of Indian politics. It's taken all these years for the Congress to now say, look, we are very clear. Caste is a primary marker of social identity and therefore we must look at a caste census.
Rajdeep, since there's a Congress representative on the show, it's only fair that they defend their party. To my mind, Congress has not been ambivalent on caste reservations. What is new to Congress is that in the 60s, when the first OBC upsurge began, Congress was at the receiving end. Congress was not leading it. In the 90s, at the Mandal moment, although Congress supported it, Congress was not the leading force. Congress was at the receiving end. It is for the first time that Congress is leading the charge when it comes to the questions of the OBC. On the SC/ST reservation, there's never been a change. On the issue of exceeding 50%, Rajdeep, in all fairness, the 50% limit has already been breached, and it has been breached by none other than the Supreme Court of India in an extraordinary judgment that they gave on EWS, which seems to be saying for everyone else 50%, but when it comes to our children, it's all right, you know, you can go beyond it. All that the Congress seems to be saying is that, well, not then for everyone, if you breach it once. And incidentally, that's a question which is not coming only now. It's a question, as you know, it has already happened in Tamil Nadu about 20 years ago. It has happened in several states. It's only a question of national policy. And frankly, for a section of population which represents 75% or more, if someone says limiting them to 50% is not fair, I can see the point. I don't know why other people don't see that point.
Okay. I'm putting up graphics of how Tamil Nadu broke the quota ceiling of 50% way back and it's reached 69%. I'm going to come to something more recent, which is Maharashtra, which is actually Rajat Sethi ironically ruled with the BJP as an ally of the Shiv Sena, and it's gone up there to 72%. EWS, for our viewers, is economically weaker section. Yogendra Yadav referred to that at the moment. But it's gone up to, there are the numbers, to as high as 72% reservation now in Maharashtra. At that time, I didn't hear JP Nadda or any BJP leader saying, why is reservation crossing 50%? Suddenly, when it comes in the Congress manifesto, it appears as if the BJP feels that reservation lines are being broken. Your response, and then I'll go to the politicians.
Well, Rajdeep, see, essentially, reservation is still relevant issue across the length and breadth. Maharashtra, you would know, Jarange Patil has been campaigning for the reservation, and though the Maharashtra Assembly has unanimously, cross-party lines, said that 10% reservation to the Maratha community should be given, it has still not been vetted by the Supreme Court, and still that quota is not under implementation. Pick Karnataka, for instance. Congress is ruling in the state of Karnataka. The chief minister is sitting on the report of caste census because it is a Pandora's box. If he opens that Pandora's box, his government might fall because Vokaligas are going to be up in arms, the Lingayats will be up in arms, and his deputy chief minister himself will be up in arms. So my point is, it might be sort of politically easy at a detached, big helicopter level. You can go out and say that I want, a caste census and the quota to be re-examined everywhere. It is practically very, very hard because essentially it is a zero-sum problem. When it becomes a zero-sum problem, it just becomes a political upmanship. But when it comes to actual implementation, every party will struggle because it is essentially, this is where I think the Muslim League analogy comes in, that when you are trying to pit one community against the other or one caste against the other, the net outcome is never positive. It's like quarrels and like infighting, and we have seen how Maharashtra has come to a standstill. Literally, politicians are not able to campaign into the respective constituencies.
No, 1 minute. The BJP is in power there. My point is, over the last 30 years, the BJP has gone ahead and rewarded Karpuri Thakur, the man who pushed ahead with the Mandal formula with the Bharat Ratna. At that time, that is not seen as rewarding someone who today would be accused by you, Rajat Sethi, of practicing divisive politics. Please look at the hypocrisy. When the Congress does it, they are likened to the Muslim League. When the BJP does it, you reward the person with the Bharat Ratna.
Well, this is what I'm trying to tell you, Rajdeep. Do not paint every state as the same. There are complexities of every state. Otherwise, why does Siddaramaiah still sit on the report? Why has he not made it public yet? I challenge him to go out and implement the manifesto in the state of Karnataka, and let us see the impact that he's going to see or not see in the state of Karnataka. The problem is, this wherever, so even the Supreme Court, by the way, has said that 50% ceiling can only be breached when there is concrete data on the ground which can actually back the claims of breaching that ceiling. It is not any political party's cup of tea to come out and challenge the Supreme Court as such.
So you're saying a caste census is playing with fire. You're saying it will lead to further divisions in society. That's your problem. Am I correct? You're saying a caste census...
My point is, if you come out and state this at a macro level, this clearly means you have not done your homework well, and every state is very different when it comes to, increasing the quota or speaking about quota, because your positions will be far more complex. And that the devil lies in the detail, and that devil has not been mentioned in that manifesto. That is my problem.
Okay, we'll come to that devil in a moment, but Yogendra Yadav, you wanted a quick response to that.
I'm astonished at the assertions being made here. Just as Rajat Sethi challenges Siddaramaiah, all right, I challenge his party. I challenge the BJP. Let the BJP come out and say, we are opposed to caste census in this country. Let the BJP, the Bihar BJP has taken credit for caste census. Let the BJP say we are opposed to 69% reservations in Tamil Nadu. Let the BJP say that they are opposed to the reservation in Maharashtra. Let the BJP take these positions. The simple fact is that BJP wants these things not to be implemented. However, because of reasons of political expediency, shall we say, I will not say Muslim League because I find that whole thing so utterly silly being used in this program. If this is Muslim League mentality, I can read out to you passages from BJP's manifesto of 2009, which are worse than which are much stronger about the plight of the Muslims and what needs to be done than what the Congress has done. If that is the mentality, then surely BJP had Muslim League mentality in 2009. let's not get into ridiculous things like this.
Can I come
but
back?
let the BJP actually contest any of these.